And there's still a little less than 1 hour for today's runoff election. San Antonio voters will decide the fate of 5 city council seats, one of them being the District 2 race, a role that has not seen consistent leadership in the past 5 years. Eyewitness News reporter Alyssa Thayes spoke to both candidates. So Alyssa, how are both candidates feeling as we are less than an hour away from getting results?
Well, Phil, both candidates tell me they're optimistic heading into tonight's election results, and both have actually set up camp right outside the Claude Black Multi-Purpose Event Center, and they're thanking voters for making their way out to the polls today. Now, Jada Andrew-Sullivan has held the position since 2019. Her challenger, Jalen Mckee Rodriguez, is a gay high school math teacher. He actually used to work for Councilwoman Andrew-Sullivan. Andrew-Sullivan believes she's the best candidate because she is from the area. She says she feels she has gained support since the May 1st general election. Jalen Mckee Rodriguez received more votes during the general election, and if elected, he would be the first openly gay black man to hold the seat in the state's history. He says he believes District 2 wants someone who will bring change to the community.
If I get into City Hall, we're all getting in City Hall. We deserve, like I said, regular working class people in office, people who live real lives.
As you stand and represent that community, you stand in a united front of understanding where we have come from, but where we can definitely go to when we have a consistency of continuity of care.
Now, Andrew-Sullivan tells me the biggest issues she wants to tackle if elected are economic development as well as safety. And as for Mckee Rodriguez, he says the biggest issues for him are creating a more equitable budget as well as infrastructure. Now, runoff election polls will close tonight at 7. We'll have those results for you tonight at 10. Reporting in East San Antonio, I'm Alyssa Thayes, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.
All right, Alyssa, thank you for that live report. As she just said, polls are open until 7, and it's not just District 2 that's up for grabs. There are also runoffs for Districts 1, 3, 5, and 9. We will start posting results online at kens5.com after 7 p.m.